Just over here shaking up my soup. I can't let it settle.
No, this is not how this intro is going to go. We're not going to start with you shaking soup.
Let's get that good soup sound. I think we got a clean cut of that.
Yeah, you get a nice soup sample. Thank you, Tyler, the Foley artist.
I have a box of soup to eat while on the podcast.
It looks pretty good. What is this box of soup?
It's butter curry protein soup.
Oh, that sounds god-awful. That sounds like the worst liquid you could be drinking. What is a protein soup?
It's soup with added protein.
Sounds pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's good shit. Oh, I'm going to open it up. That's how we're going to start this one. Animorphin time. Butter curry review. Here we go.
Okay, let's hear it.
Ooh,
how's it smell?
Smells good.
Yeah,
take a whiff.
Okay.
I want to whiff.
It smells wet. It has a distinct wet smell to it.
They can't tell you their names. They can't tell you where they live. But in the mid to late 90s, these 5 teenagers can turn into animals to fight an invading army of evil brain slugs. 5 dumb teens are the only thing standing in the way of complete annihilation. This is Animorphing Time with Nate and Tyler.
Get your hand off my girlfriend, you yerk-brained bastard!
This is for Daddy. Make it like half the bottle.
Catherine Alice Applegate wouldn't want this. Doesn't want this. Blah, 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 blah.
And like they're like, no, stop shooting at children.
Oh man, being 12 was weird.
Listeners, I'll tell you, listeners, soup is best enjoyed while warm. I'm going to drink it cold out of the box. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
It should be warm.
You should invest in a thermos. Keeps hot drinks hot and cold drinks cold.
I didn't want to open it on the drive.
Let's just say that drinking hot soup on the day after the hottest day on the planet, maybe it's not great.
I actually don't think I'm going to stop.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
Well, you should just shotgun it.
No, I'm not going to shotgun a soup on the podcast. Okay.
Well, I'm not.
Here we go.
No, you don't have to.
I don't have to do anything. Hold on.
Yum.
Introduce our guest, Ben Saint, from the Procrastinators Podcast.
From the That's right.
Yeah, welcome Ben Saint to the Procrastinators Podcast.
I'm so happy to be here on Animorphin Time with Nate and Tyler. Ever since I saw Chinchillazilla retweet the All Cops Are Yerks shirt, I said, there's no way this is real. I'm being marketed to. But it was. It was real.
That's us.
I had to reach out.
Well, thanks for being here. We appreciate you taking your time.
I'm almost done.
I appreciate the time that you have taken out of your busy schedule.
I did it. I just shotgunned a box of soup.
He's just going. He did it.
Ben, thank you for joining us.
It's really my pleasure. I'm so chuffed. I'm really chuffed to be on the show.
Chuffed good?
It is.
Did you just chuff some soup, Tyler?
I chuffed so much soup right now.
How do you feel? What's it? Okay, you have to give some background. Why did you just shotgun some soup?
You can't make me disclose my medical information. No, I'm getting a surgery on my stomach, and for 2 weeks beforehand, you have to eat nothing but full liquids before to shrink my stomach and shrink my liver. So I want more soup. No,
too bad. Too bad. You'll have to introduce the guest. You rudely,
welcome.
Drank soup over.
Welcome, Ben Saint, YouTube guy, art guy, comic guy,
YouTube
podcaster.
Yeah, true.
He's a real guy.
Yeah, true. I've done a bunch of shit for the internet.
Over the place. Way more than we have.
All over the damn place. I've been around. Just existing on Twitter for too long. I don't like to think about how long I've just been floating around on there.
Just don't think about it. Just post. just post.
Yeah.
So, Ben, we ask everyone who comes on here, what's your history with Animorphs?
Sure. I must have been in maybe like 3rd or 4th grade, and I would get those little Scholastic Book Fair pamphlets.
Mm-hmm,
the ones? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would get those, and I think I just saw an Animorphs cover. I was like, what the heck is that? And I bought every one for a while, up until maybe through like 4th grade or so.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think I probably read maybe the first like 25 or 30 of them, I definitely read the one with the howlers.
Mhm.
I fell off at some point. I fell off, and I never ended up finishing this.
We all kind of fall off because you reach that certain age where you start to figure out fucking, and you realize these characters aren't going to fuck. Maybe I'll read something where they're going to fuck.
I'm a little ashamed to say that I think I moved from Animorphs to Harry Potter.
Oh no!
Which is a
the Animorphs to Harry Potter pipeline.
hindsight. I never should have moved on. I should have stayed where it was safe.
I did the responsible thing and went from Animorphs to Stephen King.
Ooh. I think that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it's definitely why I'm attracted to weird shit. You read Tommy Knockers when you're 13 and you think a girl with a tentacle pussy's just for you.
I've never read Tommy Knockers. That happens in Tommy Knockers?
Yeah. She turns part alien, she grows a third breast or something, gets tentacles where a vagina should be. It's very confusing. That's what I remember from the book.
Is that a Stephen King Coke book?
Probably.
I read the one Stephen King called Insomnia.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't scary at all. It's just like a weird fantasy about these ghosts that cut your lifeline and kill you.
Yeah, that's the one. I did read that one.
Yeah.
Huh?
My friend was a big Stephen. He got me to read that one, and he got me to read one Dark Tower book. But I kind of bounced off.
Just one right in the middle. You read Wolves of Kala, and that's it.
But I was huge Animorphs guy. Animorphs was my thing for a couple years there. I would draw pictures of Taxons and Hork-Bajir and Lyrans and Howlers and stuff all in my notebooks at school instead of paying attention. I had a friend, I had a little schoolyard chum around the time, and I remember when they did the thing with David, when they said that they were adding a new Animorph to the team. We were like, oh, that's so cool, and my friend was like, it could be one of us. And I remember being like, I don't think it could. I don't think they're really adding a real person.
Oh, but they could be though.
I was just
they could be.
No,
real.
I mean, it's if the Animorphs were real, you wouldn't see them on the news because they're fighting a guerrilla war against an unseen enemy.
That friend reminds me, everyone has that line friend who will just say the most outlandish garbage, and you're just like, okay, yeah, no, dude, no, this is not happening, right?
Yeah, I was almost the Animorph that they added.
Yeah.
I got some of those later.
Oh, go on. Let's spill the tea. Is that what this? Do people still say that?
I had one friend in high school who would talk about oh yeah, I totally sparred in my yard with some martial arts masters. I totally had a stick fight against a champion and I beat him. That kind of shit.
I've always been more of a fan of revealing sad truth where it's yeah, you may have done martial arts and, witnessed magic, but I masturbated to Nintendo Power.
There were some good Nintendo Powers out there.
Yeah, I stole the Mortal Kombat 2 strategy guide because I was hot for Sindel.
I was more of a Game Informer.
That's why you're smarter than
That
us.
was my rag of choice.
I was like, oh, Motaro's mouth makes me feel weird. I need this book.
Motaro?
Yeah, he's the Centaur Goro. Don't worry about it. The thing that started my nascent sexuality, we don't need to get into that. But we do need to get into the conspiracy.
Ooh, there's a conspiracy.
Have
you heard of Q?
I have notes.
You have, goody.
I have some notes
There's
here.
a storm coming, this book says. It's the subtitle.
So great. A storm is coming.
Animals, so you shouldn't go down that path.
Enjoy the show, Jake.
No, the real subtitle is when they say it's all in your head, believe it, which...
making fun of the TV theme.
Yeah.
They hated the TV show. There's even a joke in here making fun of the TV show. I don't know if either of you caught it.
I did not.
You're not missing much.
No, I didn't.
We'll get to it. Ben, what are you...
TV show lasted for 2 episodes,
No,
right?
2 seasons. Yeah,
it was
there's
30,
25 episodes or something. They're trash. They're fun
Wow.
trash, but they're trash.
Wow.
Oh, and
Shocking.
Animorph in Time announcement. We will never cover the TV show. Go fuck yourselves.
We covered the 3 already.
Yeah, we did 1 or 2 with Chris Grind. No more.
Only Grind gets those.
Yeah.
Nobody else gets them.
I have a question. Actually, before we get into the show, I just want to ask, do you guys, you mentioned that I'm on the Pro Crastinators podcast. Have you seen the lecture, the Animorphs lore lecture, Animorphs 101?
I cannot.
I did, yes.
I'm keeping myself pure.
Well, it would be complete spoilers. It's complete. It spoils the whole series.
Nate's brain is free.
It's true.
Our other friend on that podcast, Tom Oliver, he stood in front of us for 4 hours and he wrote it on the whiteboard and he did a big like lore breakdown lecture of like the entire story of Animorphs. It's called Animorphs 101. It's a fun.
It was quite
fun.
good. It was really good.
We did that like a year ago. Yeah. And I hadn't finished the series, so a lot of it was new to me. I was like, whoa! I had my mind blown.
Yeah, the cool thing
more than once.
The cool thing about that video was I watched it probably 6 months ago, so well into this, and then some my online friends were like, "Oh yeah, it's that video that actually got me to pick up Animorphs again as an adult and find your podcast." So thank you, Ben.
Thank Tom. Tom did it. It did
Tom's
numbers.
Not here, Ben.
I think. I'm sorry, Tom. I'm sorry. I think Kathy Apples like tweeted about it or tweeted at him about it or something once or twice. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Thought that was
very
fun.
well done. If you like Animorphs, it's worth the watch.
Yeah. Just wanted to mention it as part of my Animorphs history. So you want to get into the plot of this?
Yeah.
Let's get into the
story we
conspiracy.
read?
Let's pull out the red twine.
We got our special boy Jake on the cover with a peregrine falcon.
He always has the same dumb look on every cover. I cannot stand it.
He's got that JTT hair.
Yeah, he really does.
Is it brooding?
Rocking
Is he brooding?
No, he's just standing there.
He's got that 1,000
he's waiting for his next meal.
I feel like this actor really captured the essence of Jake.
He really did. So any Jake lovers, Jake defenders out there, fuck off. This Jake sucks.
This is not the book to defend Jake. I'm sure that one is coming. This is not the one.
This
Okay, this book is frustrating because I'll just say it right now. Jake is so bad in this book and fucks up
every
everything.
single step of the way.
But I can't even be mad because the book knows that and like it makes excuses for him at every turn.
Does.
It's like he was really having a hard time. His family, he's too close to it. It's not his fault that he made all these terrible decisions and ruined everything. Yeah. And is bad leader.
Absolutely.
This is extenuating circumstances, the book.
It really fucking is. And it's so goddamn annoying every step of the way.
Yeah.
Nate and I had a little chat beforehand. We're like, oh yeah, Tom was reading the script. That's how he knew. It's like, oh yeah.
Well, like I don't want to get into the plot holes, but and normally this isn't a podcast about plot holes. I generally don't care as long as the story's good as a result of it.
We like our listeners' holes, not plot holes.
I like neither holes.
What?
No, I'm all about surfaces.
Hear
surface
that?
level here.
Surface.
But there's some things here that are just annoying as all hell. There are some things that do make up for this book, though, and one of them is the inside cover. I love this inside cover so much.
Yeah.
I didn't see the inside cover because I read a PDF version.
So, Tyler, describe the inside cover.
So we've got the peregrine falcon flying in an urban area, lots of people lining the sidewalk, while a badly rendered CG gorilla is shaking a car.
That's what happens. That's exactly what happens in the book.
Yep.
What was the Beast Transformers? What were they called?
Oh, Beast Wars?
Yeah,
Beast Wars.
It's the gorilla from Beast Wars.
It really does look exactly like that. It's truly fantastic.
I did not watch Beast Wars, but
Why not?
I love
Yeah, me
Beast
too. I was
Wars.
big into it.
I should have been. I was too busy playing video games.
Ben, who is your Beast War of choice? I got to go Rat Trap.
Jeez, that's a really taking me back. I mean, I think I like Dinobot, right? Dinobot was sort of the tragic, misunderstood one.
No, he's a Dinobot. That seems pretty straightforward. He's a dinosaur bot.
He's like the reverse Starscream.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
He's like the Green Ranger.
Oh,
okay, yeah.
That's where
he
I
switches
went.
sides. Yeah.
All right.
As a half Animorph, as a half Power Rangers podcast.
Right. we accept that. Yeah. You guys just want to talk about Power Rangers for this one instead of this book?
Man, tempting. No, we gotta know about the conspiracy.
Yeah, we got to know about what's old up with Grandpa G.
Our favorite character, Grandpa G, the one we all know.
Here's how I knew this book was going to be trash.
How?
It starts with Jake reminiscing about his great-grandpa G, telling Jake that Jake is a, quote, old soul.
Yeah. Have you ever had an old person tell you that?
No, because I'm stupid, and you tell that to smart kids or abused kids. I was a dumb abused kid, so no one told me anything. I had to figure it out.
Ben, what about you? Has your grandpa said, "Oh, he has an old soul. He's a wise old bird"?
No, fortunately, no, that never happened.
Yeah. And
Did it happen to you?
when I hear that, I think like, "Oh, he's calling that kid boring."
Yeah.
He's a very serious child. Like, no, he's just boring.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah. That sounds about
And
right.
they jump in with that hook of, I was going to have to kill Tom, or Tom was going to kill me, or some, like, old soul, then Tom drama.
Well, yeah. Like, where does that come from? Right.
I'll be honest. The mechanics or the circumstances whereby Tom will either die or kill or be killed, and if the one dies, then the other dies, were very confusing.
Yeah.
Like it's this whole jeopardy about I want Tom's Yerk to die, but no, if Tom's Yerk dies, then Tom dies. And if Tom's gonna die, then my dad will die. But if my dad doesn't die, then they'll get him. If Tom's Yerk dies, the Yerks will come after Tom and kill him, right? Like that's the reason why they can't use this opportunity to starve Tom's Yerk.
They've
right?
mentioned that in the past, and I think it gets like half a sentence lip service here, and it's like, oh, okay.
I forgot that they
I kept thinking,
that.
like-
I honestly just I read that line and went right through me.
I just let the Yerk starve.
Yeah.
Get him out to the cabin and just like kidnap him.
Just the thinnest fucking pretense possible for a book. This is gonna go right with the Sario rip, and I'm just gonna shit it right out of my brain as soon as we're done here.
And like they're like, oh we gotta go to Grandpa G's funeral because Grandpa G's dead, but it's gonna be 4 days, and Tom's Yerk will starve in 4 days. So Tom's Yerk doesn't want to go, so he's gonna get Jake's dad to go to the sharing to quote unquote explain why he has to go, but then they're gonna get him and they're gonna Yerk him. But like, why has Tom never just asked one of his parents to come to a sharing meeting before? If they could just tell him, "Hey, Dad, come to the sharing," and
You can't think.
Don't they
if
want?
you want your brain to work through this book, you cannot think about it. Because if you do, yeah. And honestly, my thing with all these books so far is just like, tell your dad you're an animal morpher. And by the way, they do say animal morph at the beginning of this book. I wanted to sneak that in.
Animal morph.
Every so often, they explain what animorphs mean, and I love it. But like, yeah, just tell your dad. Like, your dad will be cool enough to, like, you know, or if he's not, then kill him. He's gonna do stuff anyways. But like,
Kill him. Just kill him.
Well, I mean, like the whole idea of this convoluted plan of just say he's sick, or like just escape in the middle. Like, you know, it's like, hey, take the car and drive off on the third day, or get someone to pick you up and swap out Yerks, or just like, you know, there's so many things that we could use our logic bombs on this and destroy this book. But like at the end of the day, like it doesn't help or hurt it. Like it's there, and
plus Jake being such a shithead overshadows all the plot shit.
Yeah, well, at the end of the
Tom's Yerk is unbelievably dumb, and that he can't think of a way to get out of this. And Jake is even worse.
They're all taking stupid pills.
Yeah, this is the Animorphs take stupid pills for sure. This is all they do.
Okay, yeah.
Ben is exactly right.
It's a shame.
Grandpa G's dead. They have to go to the cabin for 4 days. Tom becomes sullen and angry. He's like, "No, I gotta stay. I gotta do stuff at the sharing. I gave them my word." And Jake's dad, rightfully so, is like, "No, this is your great grandfather. You have to go to the funeral." Having a normal response. Well, I guess that's what normal family response is. You should care about your family. Jake is loving this because he's like, yeah, that Yerk's gonna fucking starve.
Jake has so much anger in this book. Like, he's always angry in this book, and it's like
I think
it's one of those.
I kind of thought he should be more angry. There's parts where he's talking to Tom. I mean, I guess this is a normal thing through all the books. Jake has to talk to Tom as though he's his real brother, while Tom is doing a perfect impersonation of his real brother back at him.
Yeah, it's absolute torture.
I do think it's creepy the way that, like, it's creepy the way that Tom talks.
Yeah.
And like it would be creepy for a real teenager to talk that way, and knowing that it's an alien in his brain having these like dark thoughts that kind of sound like what an edgy teen would say, but are just a little worse. And you know that it's because there's a fucking alien that wants to kill me in there. And that's pretty dark.
So you're right. Like Jake,
I enjoyed that aspect of this
Jake
book.
should be mad. But like I think the reason why it was a surprise to me is because in the other books, Jake is sole responsible leader and gets in, he tears down other people for getting, their emotions into the situation.
He does.
If we're reading this from his perspective, I guess he's always seething with anger then, right? I don't know. It feels strange, like Jake being as angry as he is all the time, because like every other chapter it ends with "die, Yerk, die." It's just it's offsetting. It's unsettling.
He says "die, Yerk, die," but then quickly the plan pivots to we got to keep Tom's Yerk alive.
Yeah, it's German for D Yerk D. It's for the Yerk.
Well, what about that tattoo on your chest? Doesn't it say die, Bart, die?
No, that's German for the Bart, the.
No one who speaks German could be an evil man.
Parole granted.
It's like we can't let the Yerk die, because if the Yerk dies, then Tom dies. Presumably because the Yerks kill him. And probably they would kill your whole family, because then the Tom would be like, I've been invaded by an alien this whole time. And then they'd all know. And you can't let any of them know. And maybe they'd tell some of their neighbors, you just got to kill the whole town at that point.
And maybe it's for the best that these books never really focus on the conspiracy of the hidden Yerks. Because, it just falls apart when you really look at it.
Yeah.
But
if even one Yerk loses their host.
Oh, yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, because
it's over.
Or, if one gets captured, you can just go on TV and it's like, oh, look what I found. I found this weird alien. And it's done.
Yeah,
you have to assume that every jail has a warden that is secretly a Yerk that can get a prisoner to a pool in time, so no one in jail loses their Yerk.
Prisoners are trash. They don't get Yerks. We know that.
That's
they
true.
Always lie
we would
about
never
aliens,
believe them.
you guys. That's the thing they do.
Yeah, and listeners, I don't mean prisoners are trash. I was appropriating Visser 3's language from their books. Please don't yell at me.
That is what the
I'm very nice.
That is what the Yerk would say.
I'm very nice. But one of the little bits, when he's in person, when Tom is in person, or when the Yerk is impersonating Tom, God, this is fucking stupid. Jake's like, he's being perfect. This is exactly what my brothers say. Yerks are perfect copies. It's not like they go around and you can tell that they're a Yerk. They're not itching their ear. That's a thing they did in the TV show, by the way, Ben. When controller...
Yeah, Chapman would scratch his ear.
That's...
Right, I remember.
it would make it itchy.
I saw 2 episodes.
I think it would make it itchy, right?
Well, no, they secrete painkiller, dude. Yerks secrete painkillers, but they're entering the ear canal.
So do mosquitoes, you guys. Mosquitoes have a little painkiller in there. Mosquito bite.
I'm going to roll up some painkiller and torch it, Do you smoke painkiller?
Let's move on.
I need another box of soup.
Yeah, no, see, you got too much soup energy now. You're just going all over the place.
I'm all over.
So Tom convinces Tom's dad, Jake's dad, doesn't have a name. We'll call him Dad from now on.
Yeah, Daddy.
Yeah, so he convinces Daddy to go to the sharing to kind of explain the situation so he can get out of, so he can say, hey, Sharing, I have to be gone for 4 days. And that's the conceit, to get a Yerk in his brain.
Yep, and he does this while Jake is having sad boy moments walking the streets alone.
Right, he has to tell somebody about the situation.
Yeah, he's like,
I'll tell Cassie. Wait, no, Cassie's busy with horse stuff.
Yeah, horse. She's busy with horse.
She's busy with horse. Nobody else is available. I guess I'll talk to Marco.
Yeah, Marco just shows up on the street and he's like, hey, I was going to call you handsome, but what's up, best friend? I love the bi energy from Marco in this. It's so good.
It is kind of there, too. I always think, are we reading too much into it? But no,
Yeah, and then Jake lays it out to Marco. Marco's like, you left your dad alone with an enemy combatant who needs to neutralize your dad? That doesn't seem good, Jake. And Jake's like, oh, yeah.
Immediately, it's like, you're absolutely right. rushes home and finds that the worst has immediately
It happened. It's
the
right
first
away.
possible opportunity.
I was waiting for my little brother
Yeah.
to walk away and then let's whisk him to the sharing.
The Yerk and Tom knew that Jake was an idiot who often goes on dumb walks alone. Just had to wait for that.
Yeah, and so what's the deal? Like, there's a note in the trash that has like, "Hey, Jake, I went to the sharing." That then Tom crumpled up and threw
away.
What I do not understand what is happening in this scene.
So let me explain it to you. Tom's been reading the script.
Oh,
because there's no reason to throw that note away.
There is
none.
Yeah.
But Tom did it because secretly Tom knows Jake's an Animorph. I'm not saying that in the story-wise. I'm saying that the author knows that Jake's an Animorph.
The writers know. The writer knows Jake's an Animorph, so he can't, if he finds that letter, it's a problem, so Tom might as well get rid of it, even though he shouldn't, like, Jake, his regular human non-Animorph brother, should just find the note and be like, oh, they went to
makes
sharing.
sense to go sharing.
And
sharing, you know, like a Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts kind of thing.
Normally these plot holes don't bother me, but this was so stupid.
And
pointedly right out of it.
There's no need. There's no need.
And it acted as a thing for Marco to prove he's smarter than Jake, which we just proved a chapter earlier because Marco's like, no, you can't leave the note out. Tom has to think it's been thrown away. And it's like...
I have a note here about what Jake thinks about Marco, but it's at the very end, so I'll save it till the end, because this theme of Marco seeing the obvious problem that Jake
that beautiful, perfect line
is all through...
Well, you know why Jake missed it? He is so panicked about his daddy.
Call him Harrison Ford working with Roman Polanski because he's frantic.
Like Harrison Ford, I'm getting frantic. Like Sting, I'm tantric. Like Snickers, guaranteed to satisfy.
I don't like that.
He's just gotta get out of this house and get some air. He's got to get away from the alien and his brother that will do anything to stop his dad. Anything at all. Has no value of human life whatsoever.
I love that Jake's initial response to realizing that Tom has to kill his dad is, well, I better leave. Just stupid. Stupid. But it's fine.
It's amazing.
They realize, I don't even remember, it's so stupid. Okay, so they're like, we need to find out where the sharing is. And Marco's like, why don't we just call Eric King?
Makes sense.
Yeah, we'll call Eric King. Eric King will track his cell phone in the stupidest possible way.
I don't know. I kind of love it. I love how he tracks down the location of Daddy.
So, Nate, how does he track down the location of Daddy?
Well, okay. So
the Chi, they're the dog robots with incredible technology that can do pretty much anything. How did they track the cell phone?
Okay.
Surely he's going to, like, triangulate the satellite signal or something, right? That the phone is sending?
What's he do, Nate?
So I'm gonna call Daddy.
Okay.
I'm gonna listen real close.
Okay.
I hear birds. I hear old people. It's somewhere around birds and old people.
That's right.
Like what's the actual line? Like I feel like I need to read it if we're calling it out like that.
Regular hours, normal hours.
Yeah, here's the word normal hours. And that's about it. I think they're around this block.
Yeah, it's probably here. It's the 6-block radius.
It can either be a mini mall, an old folks home, or 36 houses. Sorry, I couldn't help more.
Good luck, Animorphs. Yeah, he listens, and Jake almost fucks it up by talking on the phone.
But how would that fuck it up, though?
He almost,
because then...
They didn't want... It would be suspicious for him to call the dad's phone.
Oh, yeah, I would never call a phone.
A child would never call his father
no, never.
on the phone.
If you are a child and you've talked to your father on the phone, there's something fucking wrong with you. Get therapy.
That's Andalite bandit behavior.
But... yeah, so they decide just to risk it and just see if they can spot his car or whatever.
Right, yeah, they fly there. Jake turns into a peregrine falcon.
And he freaks the fuck out too, because he's flying as hard as possible. He's overworking this poor bird morph, and he's just like, I need to get there as fast as possible. It's already too early, it's already too late. Right?
I gotta get my daddy.
Right, they're flying to the mini mall, but he overshoots it because he's going so fast. It's weird.
He's frantic. He's manic. He's frantic. He can't think clearly.
So he's overworking this poor bird,
Mm-hmm.
peregrine falcon.
Yes.
What is a peregrine falcon?
Oh, does that mean it's time for animal facts?
It is time for do we want to yell it?
We have to yell it. We yell it every time. People love when we yell.
I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to
I
yell
love
this
it.
time. Animal facts.
Okay,
Can I yell?
You yell it then.
Animal facts.
Animal
Animal
facts.
facts.
Prince Jake and Cassie, Tobias and Axe, Rachel and Margot, the bandits are here. They want to listen to animal facts. Fuck all the yerks, Margot's mom is a bitch.
Woo! All right. Provided to us by the wonderful Divine Soup Can and personal friend of guest Ben. I'm just going to say that.
True.
Should we give Divine Soup Can like
Hey, Divine Soup Can.
DSC?
A
Like-
DSC?
Yeah, does he want like a cool acronym?
So here we go. It's titled The Peregrine Falcon. Ready?
Ooh, I'm ready.
So the peregrine falcon is best known for being the fastest known animal able to perform specialized dive called a stoop at speeds recorded at over a stoop
That sounds pretty stupid.
over 240 miles per hour, or roughly 30% of the speed of sound. To prevent resulting wind speed from damaging their lungs, tiny tubercules in the nostrils slow airflow. I love that word so much.
Wait, so they pinch their nose so they don't lose blood?
Yeah, it's like,
Like
jumping into the water. No, they have little like areas. The tubercle. Look what a tubercle.
No,
is.
you got to tell me. What's a tuberculo?
They're these little caverns where like air can circulate and move and whatnot.
Okay, so it's like your sinus, right?
Yeah.
They kind of pinch off their sinuses.
Yeah,
so.
like putting stuff up to slow wind flow. It's like little towers of bones in their nose.
So they put bones up their nose.
Yeah, yes, they put bones up their nose.
Excellent.
That's what this is.
Man, they're so smart. They're not stupid at all.
And to protect their eyes, they have nictitating membranes. Didn't look it up. Not going to explain it.
Well, I mean, like
they have membranes over their eyes.
yeah, like frogs, right?
Oh, I have one of those.
Yeah.
Good for swimming.
Oh, is it? Okay. So the cool thing about peregrine falcons, and I'm just adding in, I'm spicing up the copy a little bit.
Oh, that's so spicy. Wow.
They eat mostly other birds,
Hell yeah.
which you look up some pictures, you can see peregrine falcons with like another bird's leg sticking out of his mouth.
Yeah, it's like how you eat
Cute,
small.
terrifying.
It's
Yeah.
it's like how you eat smaller people.
Yeah. Oh, God. That was a box of person soup. They are known to hunt birds as large as herons and as small as hummingbirds.
Wait, hold on. They eat herons?
They can eat herons.
How big is it?
Herons
They're
are big.
I imagine they're baby herons or like a small heron. You know, that little guy heron, the soup or the,
You ever
bagel
seen
boss heron.
You ever seen that video of the eagles that pull the goats
Oh,
off
yeah,
the
golden
cliff?
eagles. Those things are wild.
The golden eagles. The goats that live on the cliffs, the big eagles will grab the goat by the horns and just tug it and just make it fall off the cliff and just send it
And just eat the fuck out of it at the bottom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
peregrine falcons, let's see here. This is what makes them uniquely good at living in urban areas because pigeons are fucking everywhere. You can see peregrine falcons in big cities. So when they're pulling out of their dive and slowing before striking, peregrines can experience 25 Gs of force. So for comparison, do you know how many Gs of force it takes to stop the human heart?
One over a long period of time.
I've also been heartbroken. Yeah, no, it's 9 Gs.
9 Gs?
Yeah, so they're almost triple the strength it takes to kill us with one punch.
So if they were in like Goku in the Capsule Corp spaceship, they could turn up the artificial gravity and they could train really hard and get really strong.
So like
am I right?
it's
because they could survive more Gs.
yeah, like he took like what 100 Gs. So like you need
Maybe.
three and some fraction of a peregrine falcon equals one Goku.
So I'm
The math
not a
checks
Dragon
out.
Ball guy, but it's kind of like when Shinji
Don't.
hopped into his Eva. I just finished it.
It's exactly like
Get in the Animorph, Jake.
Morph the tiger, Jake.
So
Morph the rhinoceros.
peregrines are
Or Rachel will have to do it again.
Peregrines are highly desired birds for falconry. Young birds are purchased or captured from their parents' nest. After a training period, the falcon may be used in falconry competitions or for hunting.
Wait, purchased from their nest?
Yeah.
Like they pay off the parents? Like,
No, they don't.
They leave like an old, like a doubloon in the nest.
the parent bird gives a sad nod and takes the coin.
The dad falcon flying by with his ruby necklace sees his son in chains on a man's arm. It's fine. It's all good. So when hunting, the falconer will flush the game, then release the falcon. A peregrine typically kills game instantly with a strike to the head, but the falconer will have to go to the falcon when the game is too heavy to carry back. If the falcon chooses to not continue the partnership, it will return to the wild. Falconry is very popular in the United Arab Emirates.
So they break up with their own.
Yeah, the peregrine falcon can be like, fuck this.
Why don't they just do that more often?
Birds have no sense of freedom or understanding of it.
Wow, that's a worse fact.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
They're like, I don't know. Our understanding of animals is weird anyway, so who knows what they know. They know enough to leave. So in 1939, y'all ever heard of DDT? Diamond Dallas Tyler? No, never mind. It's the pest, the insecticide.
Yes, yeah.
That got Herman Mueller, great grandfather to the Mueller report.
What?
I don't know. No, not real.
That could be true as far as
could be. Robert Mueller.
Conspiracy. It's a conspiracy.
So it won him the Nobel Prize in 1948, this insecticide. So by 1959, peregrine falcon nests had disappeared from Pennsylvania. All across America, DDT was accumulating in predatory birds, poisoning them and weakening their eggs. So they were eating these bugs, which built up poison in their system and killed them all.
Oof.
So then they banned it in the U.S. for agricultural use in 1972 and globally in 2004. So since then, peregrines have recovered, although they're still under concern.
So they recover when you don't poison them, is what we're.
Yeah, it's weird that things can get better when you don't poison them, huh?
Yeah, a little strange.
So
it's a conspiracy, really.
So peregrine mating involves a courtship flight featuring the midair donation of prey to the female.
Oh, it's a donation now.
Stop it.
Like they cross in midair and like they do a little handoff. Like
Yes,
the trapeze?
essentially. Or one of them drops it and the female catches it. And
Wait, what?
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
He drops like a rat. The lady catches it. Like,
I thought that's the breeding. I thought
no.
I thought he like drops his business. And, like,
No.
I was so amazed for like a minute there.
Instead of a cloacal kiss, it's a cloacal loogie.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, why not? Nature's weird.
Yeah.
Just this male peregrine falcon hurricane loads from across the sky.
That's not the hard part. The hard part is the catching.
Hey, falconer, you want a sick trick?
Yeah. Gives a whole new meaning to the term spread eagle. Hey, whoa, wow, cool.
Can that be the real fact?
Yeah, we'll just go with that. They mate for life. They shoot their loads across the heavens.
They shoot them at speed, right? They can shoot a load at the 200 plus miles per hour that they plus the speed of the ejaculate.
Female peregrine falcon's not impressed until the male shoots his spear of Longinus into God's heart and it lands in her pussy.
Don't. She can take 30 G's. She will never be impressed.
Yeah, get you a bitch that can take 30 G's.
So that's
peregrine falcon facts for the
peregrine. A droplet of peregrine jizz traveling at 300 miles per hour puts a bullet hole through your window.
Yeah, instead of the ice knife, it's the ice peregrine falcon come raining down. Jesus, that's peregrine falcon facts. That's what I got.
Those are some facts.
Very fast,
Those
good
are
at
some
coming.
facts.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's good at it.
They love freedom. That's what we got.
They sometimes love freedom.
I have it's not, well, I guess it's technically an animal fact because all God's creatures are animals, even the ones in space. and I hope that you have heard this. You haven't heard it. I hope this is news to you.
I have not heard this.
I'm going to flip out. Have you heard of Andalite Truth?
Yes.
I have not.
Yeah, I know
You know it?
I don't.
But you can still share it with Nate.
I have no idea.
Well, if you go to Andalite Truth, this is a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. It's a cover-up. You have been lied to. AndaliteTruth.org gives the truth about Andalites, which is that they don't look like they're depicted on the cover art. The torso is a lie.
Wait, they're not centaurs?
Well, they're always depicted as centaurs in the art, but then here there's.
What?
I'm sorry.
No, now's the time. Like, we learn about the birds and the bees with peregrine falcons, I feel like.
There's a description. Okay, obviously the description varies from book to book, but here's one description from the book. The Andalite. From a distance, you'd think he was a small horse or a deer. He has 4 hooved feet that flash with amazing speed. His upper body looks like a horse's neck and head, except that when he gets close enough, you see he has 2 smaller human-sized arms sticking out. His head is kind of a triangle with 2 huge almond-shaped eyes. Those are his main eyes. Eye stalks, they stick out the top of his head.
So he's just a horse with like weird arms coming out of his neck.
It's just a horse with 2 arms sticking out of its neck and a scorpion tail.
I'm showing it to Nate.
You're showing it to him. There's a lot of art, and some of them look really cool. But
like
this that one's
the
canon.
triangle head is actually not something I thought about, right? But like, yeah, no, if it's like a true like triangular head, that's far more disturbing.
Yeah, there's a
they describe it's a triangular head. They sound less human. They sound less human than they're depicted in the cover art.
Well, for the show,
it's Andalite propaganda. It's Andalite propaganda to make humans less afraid of them and make them look more like us. It's the only explanation.
We're anthropomorphizing. I said that word right. Andalites.
Anthropomorphizing. Yes. So that's my animal fact. Is that Andalites? The torso's a lie.
It's a conspiracy. It fits.
It's just it would make me feel better writing one. I think.
No, I want to hug that torso with those tiny little arms.
I don't know. You wouldn't want to write a centaur. I feel like that.
Let's make a version of Over the Top with an Andalite, but he just keeps getting beat because his arms are so weak.
Well, and also like I get why they're so small, because if they're coming out of the neck, like how useful are those things? Right? Imagine arms coming out of your neck.
I don't know. Talk to anyone who likes getting 7-fingered.
Nobody.
Also the Andalites, they have 7 fingers, and like they're like spindly. Do they have like extra joints? I don't know if they have extra joints, but they describe them as having like long, spindly, like delicate.
I would love to find out.
Maybe they're like pneumatic. Maybe they just like inflate and deflate because they're weak. They're notoriously weak. They can't open doors, right? So maybe it's like hydraulic.
Their hands are weak, but their tails are. Yeah. They don't have to turn a doorknob. They can just cut the door.
Exactly.
Who needs doors? Fuck doors. Coming out hard. Animorph time. No doors.
Yeah.
Andalites didn't have doors. They just lived in a field.
They sleep in a hole.
They just lived in a field and shat in a hole. Yeah.
They don't need a car either.
But you know who does?
You know who does need a car is Jake's dad. They have a brand new car, you guys. Brand new. He's so proud of that car. He loves that car.
So Jake, they figure out their height. It's all happening in an antique store. Jake's dad's car's there.
Yeah.
Jake immediately starts morphing from bird to human to tiger or to rhino. He's like, I'm gonna fuck this place up. And Marco's like, hey bro, this ain't it, chief.
Well, why not? Because
if Yerks are not stupid, unlike our protagonist.
Yeah.
The Yerks will figure that if someone, these Andalite bandits try and stop Jake's dad from getting yerked, they'll know it's probably related to something with Jake's family. I don't know. Thin premise. Who gives a fuck? Marco says, "Don't do it. It's stupid." He's right.
Yeah.
That it makes sense. Like they wouldn't. It would be enough of a coincidence that they'd be like, "Why would the Andalite bandit? We yerk people all the time. Why would now be when the Andalite bandits show up to be like, you can't yerk this human?"
Right. That's suspicious. It's a bridge too far.
Yeah. You know what would be a good cover though? If they just stopped a lot more of the Sharing's activities, maybe that would make more sense.
Yeah.
But you know what? This isn't about plot holes. We're not here to talk about plot holes.
We don't care.
We do care about Marco's plan, though, which I think is a pretty dang good plan. I like this plan.
Yeah, break cars.
Just like, so he's like, listen, turn into a falcon again. I need eyes in the sky because I'm about to do some business. Marco goes gorilla, and he starts wrecking some cars. Just walking down the street. Flipping over cars,
punching windows,
causing a ruckus.
He really fucks up Chapman's car.
Yeah, like especially Chapman's car for whatever reason. Gets on that car
Just,
and
why
then
not? It's its only
Right.
chance.
and then disappears down an alley. Everyone comes outside, like all of our cars are upside down and broken.
That's when Jake's dad says, I have to go. I have to talk to Joe Johnson.
We have to talk to Joe. Who's Joe Johnson?
Who's Joe Johnson, you would ask? Well, that's what Tom asks. And Jake's dad says, Tom, you're almost an adult. Joe Johnson's our insurance agent. You should know that.
You need to know about Joe Johnson.
You need to know Joe Johnson.
Ben, did you?
Joe Johnson comes back. He comes back in the next book. Not really. Maybe. He could.
Did you
I don't
write
know.
down Joe Johnson's? Like, this is an important name.
I did not, but I remember Joe Johnson.
I wrote it down.
I wrote it down too. Like, okay, Joe Johnson's coming back. Who's Joe Johnson?
Yeah, I looked up the ghostwriter. I looked to see if they had talked about anyone named Joe Johnson.
He's ghostwritten by Joe Johnson. He put himself in the
No,
book.
God, I wish.
That would make more sense. Joe Johnson's nobody is never mentioned again.
It's their insurance agent. Insurance, very important.
It's like a Tim and Eric sketch.
Your friendly
right?
neighborhood representative.
It's a Tim and Eric sketch because it's just like, he's very important, Joe Johnson. You should know this.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Joe Johnson from State Farm's going to be so pissed.
And that's why they immediately go home and cancel the sharing.
Yeah, cancel the sharing meeting because Jake's dad has to talk to Joe Johnson.
It's like, let's not finish this short conversation we're here for. Let's go to Joe Johnson.
And honestly,
it's inexplicable.
listeners, you want to get out of anything, just say you need to go talk to Joe Johnson. If you say that around me, I'll know it's code. You need help, we'll get you out of there.
Yeah. It's like,
Walk up to the bartender, say you want to order a Joe Johnson, and they'll let you go.
They'll know.
They'll know. Keep looking at this soup box.
It's empty now. That's your Joe Johnson. Drink it up. Lick the inside of that box. Get all the nutrients.
There, that's.
I'm
We
just
got
so
the rest of it.
jealous.
Cold soup. Recommend. I knew I was against it. I'm good with it now.
Put some ice in it next time. Maybe make it even colder.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's your house. You didn't offer me ice.
I didn't want you to have ice. So
we're gonna solve this ice soup problem right now.
So the Animorphs are gonna solve this Joe Johnson problem.
Yep.
So they
No, Joe Johnson is the solution.
It's true. Maybe he's behind the conspiracy.
How deep does it go? It goes all the way up to Joe Johnson.
JFK Jr. didn't die in the plane. He took a job at State Farm, and he goes by Joe Johnson. He goes to all the Q rallies.
That's it.
Jesus.
Everyone in the Animorphs HQ, they're pissed. Rachel's pissed. Cassie's pissed. Everyone's pissed for some reason. This is a normal occurrence for the Animorphs at this point. Like,
they're not that pissed. They're not that pissed yet. They're a little bit like,
they
what's going
really
on?
let him off easy. Just
You
easy.
think?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that they
let him off easier than he's let them off
Yeah,
before.
for sure.
He's gone off on them for less.
Yeah. They let him off to the point where Marco's like, no, you did a stupid thing. We have to save the world. We can't save your daddy. And I propose a vote. And the vote goes in Jake's favor because Tobias is like,
well, it's a dumb vote
what
anyways.
he did was wrong. But here's why we have to protect his stupid ideas at all costs. Just
Well, it's like, here's
baby
what we decide that because who is it? Who's not involved? Rachel's not involved.
yeah,
in this
Rachel
vote?
said
Rachel and
Axe
Axe.
would.
No, Axe is
No,
there,
Axe is
right?
gone. They're watching Jake's dad. Rachel and Axe are watching Jake's dad.
Tobias says Axe will vote. Axe will abstain, and Jake's like, "Oh, Rachel will vote for me," and
Yeah,
everyone's
she'll
just
do
like,
that.
I guess I'll take your word for it." Maybe
She's my cousin. She's gonna vote for me.
Cassie's against it. Marco's against it. The deciding vote is Tobias.
And he is like, yeah, let's do it. Let's put the fate of the whole world on Jake's dad.
He has a okay point, which is that, hey, if everyone in Jake's family is yerk-brained, they're going to come after Jake eventually, right? It's going to be harder for him to sneak out. The cover is going to be harder to maintain, which I'm like, I guess that makes sense.
kind of, but it kind of just exposes the fact that, like, why hasn't Tom tried to yerk the whole family already? Like, if having two family members yerked is a liability, why is having one family member not also a
Let
liability?
me propose the simpler, better plan.
Okay.
You both ready for this?
Yes.
kill Tom. Just kill Tom.
Oh.
I mean, they've killed many a controller.
Jake knows it has to happen. The Animorphs know that it has to happen.
And in the previous book, they're all on board for killing Marco's mom. They've already established that killing relatives is a-okay.
But morphing another human is completely off the table. You could never do that.
Unless you're Marco and it's really funny, right?
I mean, it was really funny.
Oh, I'm Fat Michael Grant. I'm Marco. That's some good shit. Good shit.
You're probably right. They should just kill Tom.
That's it. That's all I got. But that's not what they do.
They're not going to kill Tom because Tom is brother to the leader, and they can't do that.
No, we got to do whatever the leader says, even though at every step he fucks up or freezes.
Well, so what's their plan going forward? So they're not going to kill Tom.
No,
they're not going to let his daddy be York-brained.
No.
So we're just going to watch him?
They're just going to watch the dad for 4 days or more, however long it takes.
Yes, exactly that.
Until either Tom's Yerk dies or they fail to protect him and
the world ends.
Yeah.
So
they start that. And they start with...
You think it would be easy to surveil, like, just follow your dad around.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, I'm feeling kind of down. Can we just hang out? Yeah. I'm sad about the grandpa dying. Yeah, let's hang out, kid. No.
Nope.
Let's not do that.
Dad goes to work and sends his kids to school.
You're thinking outside the box.
Yeah, no.
Honestly, I would have never thought to do that. I would never thought to ask my dad to take me to work. But probably would work just fine.
Yeah.
But instead, you gotta be a bug. You gotta turn to a bug.
I couldn't ask.
And be in his pants. Be in your dad's pants all day.
Yeah.
If you want to go with your dad, get in his pants. He'll take you everywhere.
Where is this in the hero's journey where you go into your dad's pants? Like it's hands around the bottom. Like that's after the calling of goddess.
Yeah, it's crossing the threshold. Ooh, crossing the flesh fold. Ooh,
you don't want that. No. So yeah, he turns into a roach. His dad's like, ew, a roach.
Jake spends most of this book as a roach.
He does spend most of this as a roach.
Yeah, his dad tries to step on him, wacky hijinks. Yeah, because his dad is also a bumbling idiot. He knocks over like jar of jam.
Yeah, he drops raspberry jam.
Some real. It's like some Honey I Shrunk the Kids shenanigans.
I love the way they skirt around the cussing. It's like, oh, then my dad said a word he wasn't supposed to say. Oh fuck. And then, and then he said something worse when he saw me. Oh shit, fuck.
Well, so like, think about if you drop jam, you're just like, fuck.
You drop jam, you see a roach on the floor. Oh, fuck you too.
You know what? I'm kind of like a daddy here. I think he's all right. He also has anger issues.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this part's kind of boring. Like, Jake gets stuck in the jam. Oh, he gets out of it.
He crawls up his dad's pants and he rides in his dad's pants.
Yeah, all the way to work. And then, like, he notices that there's somebody following his dad.
Yeah, a big bearded man.
Right. And
anyone like that on this podcast?
Scary beard.
Tyler has a beard, for anyone who doesn't know, who is not currently looking at Tyler in this audio medium. Tyler has a beard.
I'm going to shave it.
And he's scary.
It's true.
He looks disgruntled.
Yeah, there's no grunt here.
Yeah, but much like this guy who's following Daddy. There's a support team with Jake. Currently it's Axe and Tobias, right?
Yeah, Jake goes about his day morphing and remorphing a roach in his dad's pants, out of his dad's pants, in his dad's pants. We find out Jake's dad's a pediatrician.
Yeah.
Could have just taken the weekend off. Doctors do whatever they want.
Yeah.
I'll get off my doctor soapbox. Some of them are lovely.
Not all doctors.
Don't. But we do get one little bit in this Doctor Day that really rubbed me wrong and made me think, oh, this is one of those Animorphs pro-war books, and it's subtle. Let me find it here. So Jake is resting in the toilet, and he says this: "It was boring beyond belief, but it gave me a lot of time to think. Too much time. I'd started out hoping this crisis would give me a way to destroy Tom's Yerk. Now I was down to hoping I could save my dad from Tom's fate. I was playing a defensive game. It's easier to attack. On the attack, you can pick the time and place. On the defense, all you can do is wait. Wait for the enemy to pick his time and his place, and wear out your resources and your people waiting, knowing all it takes is for the enemy to get lucky, and all your tense, cramped up waiting will be for nothing. That's a pretty solid defense of a hawkish war strategy, and I don't care for it in a kid's book.
It only gets expanded later.
It does. That's just the start of it. You don't need to defend going on the offense. Like, well, Iran could attack us. We might as well bomb them again. Yeah.
It's like,
I hate that shit. I'm not a hawkish military guy. I don't.
You should be defensive. You should wait because, like, it's like if you're being offensive to be defensive, then you're just gonna wreck shit.
Yeah, you're just going to oppress and hurt other people because something could have happened.
Something could have happened.
I mean, in the context of this book, obviously Jake is proven completely correct. Because, I mean, of what happens later.
Strong take.
I don't know if you want to skip ahead.
Strong take. Ben saying Jake is correct.
Well, they do a drive-by shooting.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be a 90s piece of media without a drive-by shooting.
Let's get his vice principal comes and does a drive-by shooting in his front yard. I'm getting ahead of myself, but he does.
No, that's
we should talk. We're almost there.
Let's finish up the bearded man story, then we'll go to the spraying of Jake.
I love what they do to this evil villain, the bearded man.
The bearded man who looks tough and has been following Jake's dad.
Right, because his shift is over at the pediatrician's office.
Yeah.
And so he goes to his car, and then the bearded man starts approaching him. Jake's like, okay, this guy's going to get my daddy.
He's just been waiting outside the office all day, or he just works nearby.
I like to think he's waiting.
Yeah, he's just some biker waiting. It's like, who took my spot?
Like he's like smoking like 2 packs of cigarettes, waiting for this guy to come out. And he does, and he starts approaching his dad, and like Jake's like, I gotta make a move. So he's like, I can't morph into a tiger and murder this guy. So instead, I'm just gonna
axe is hidden behind the car. He can't make it in time.
Yeah, so I gotta gross him out. So he climbs onto this guy's lip as a cockroach, and the guy's like, "Ooh, a bug!" and
it's his only move. It's
a good move because his dad turns around and is like, "Oh, buddy, you okay?"
The guy's like, "There's a bug in my mouth."
And then, like,
seems like a really dangerous.
Yeah.
Like he could have got killed really easily.
Yeah,
Jake
Tobias swoops down, steals the guy's toupee.
Yeah, support, and he's like, "Oh, bro."
Okay. At this point, I'm like, you weren't gonna attack. You weren't gonna turn into a tiger in the parking lot because that would tip the Yerks off that the Andalite bandits are onto them. But you're willing to come down as a hawk and like steal a guy's toupee and slash his eyes or whatever, and they won't think that's weird at all.
Stupid. And they're all kind of okay with it, right? Because here's what happens after they both like
Tobias and acts like, Jake, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? And Jake freezes. He freezes. That's what he does. And he's like, roach attack.
Yeah. But the two victims here are both okay with it too, right? Because Jake's dad says, the bird's gone, the roach is gone, you're okay. Forget the stupid bug. Forget the stupid bird. Because he's angry. He's been waiting here all day because he's been
emasculated.
He's been emasculated because his
parking spot was taken.
Jake's daddy has been parking in that guy's spot, I guess.
This has been my spot for years. I don't see a sign with your name on it. It's my spot.
That's just like a doctor not to pay attention and be awful at parking. True stereotype. True stereotype.
All the doctors listening are really feeling that one.
Fuck them. What are they going to do? Take 5 vacations instead of 4? Fuck them. Oh, sorry, you only have 2 extra properties. Never be able to buy a house in my fucking life.
Yeah, it's true. That dream is gone. Yeah.
So they go home.
Jake's feeling kind of down because he froze up a little bit in that situation. He's not feeling like a good leader.
Again, he fucked it up again. He can't stop.
He just can't stop fucking up.
So he goes home and he's just putzing around. He's feeling bad. He's still angry at Tom because Tom's doing he's trying to be normal but also trying to get out of this lake trip. So Jake's just like, I'm just gonna I'm gonna stop looking at my dad. I'm going to go and blow off some steam as a bird.
Yeah, I'm going to fly. I'm going to leave my dad alone. Dad's gone out to water the plants.
At night.
After his car's wrecked, after a long talk with Joe Johnson.
After seeing some guy be attacked by both a cockroach and a falcon.
Yeah, did he be like, honey, kids, you won't believe what happened on my way home from work
What
today?
this reminds me of is that like clip from Rugrats where the dad is making pudding at like 3 o'clock at night, where he's just like, I've lost complete control of my life.
Stu, what are you doing?
Making chocolate pudding.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Why on earth are you making chocolate pudding?
Because I've lost control of my life.
Like it's like
ever since Grandpa G left, things have been fucking wild.
It's 9 o'clock. I'm just gonna water these plants. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Jake's like, I'm gonna fly around, feel better.
Grandpa G was our rock.
G was for the glue of Jake's family.
Yeah. So he flies around. He has a chat with Tobias, who's hanging around too.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I know you fucked up, but it's cool. We're still friends.
And Tobias is like, listen, don't worry about it. And he stops. And he sees something driving down the road. It's Chapman's car.
Hmm.
And there's somebody in the passenger seat.
And he's got a gun. And he's got a freaking
It's
gun.
probably a fucking Uzi too.
He's driving down this, like, I assume it's suburban neighborhood.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pediatrician's house. They live in a nice
They
neighborhood.
live in a nice neighborhood. There's a guy driving, and then the passenger seat, this guy, like, having a gun out, looking like, yeah, I got this gun.
He's got his sunglasses on. He's wearing a sleeveless t-shirt.
I'm picturing, like, the Weasley guy from Commando, Bennett. This guy to me looks like a Bennett. And
I'm not going to shoot you in the brain, Jake's dad. I'm going to shoot you between the balls.
And yeah, they're going to get drive-by'd.
Most 90s shit ever. So Jake's like, I have to stop this.
Ben,
Doesn't he hear Tom on the phone being like, yeah now. He's out on the front lawn. Do it now.
Yeah, he does
right?
hear that.
yeah, Ben, you loved this part, right? Like, I'm not alone. And
I kind of think so. I kind of was like, I can't believe this. I can't believe the vice principal is driving up to his house to murder his family in broad. Is it at night? Because I think Jake says it's in broad daylight.
oh, is it probably?
Well, it's evening. It's after work. It's those hours between 6 and 9, I imagine.
It could just be bad writing, you guys.
Whoa!
Because I thought he just had dinner.
You mean a book ghost written by two like middle-aged white people by someone who is not familiar with, it could be. Anything's possible. The Animorphs are perfect. Don't ever judge it. All my messages are.
Like, okay, so what happens? They're gonna do it. They're driving up to
Jake
the house.
is like, no, I will stop this. I'm going to morph human in front of my brother.
And not on the ground, mind you, but on the roof.
On the roof.
On the roof, yeah.
And Tobias is like, hey, listen, there's a little girl across the way that might see you. Maybe you should like hold back for a second. But Jake doesn't.
Yeah,
anyways.
Jake's like, nope. He
almost falls off the roof.
Yeah, he drops down there, runs over. Is like, don't worry, Dad. I can hose off the whatever.
Again, like if we're going, I don't want to point out plot holes, but in his morphing suit, so he's in like short
bike
shorts,
bike
shorts and a t-shirt, and he's like, Dad, I can water
right.
So like,
and Jake's dad's like, yeah, okay, son.
He's probably like scared. Whatever you say, son.
I just missed my great grandpa. Jake's dad goes back in the house.
Jake's dad's having a weird day. Jake
hoses down the gunman in the car, and they drive off.
Yeah, he does, and he waves, and he's like, "Hi, Mr. Chapman. Hey, how's it going?"
It's the second best part of this book. The best part is coming.
Yeah, I love it.
The best, yeah.
It's perfect garbage.
It's so stupid and fun.
It's the kind of things I love about bad movies, right? Where the situation is so ridiculous. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
The mental image that paints for me of just like, Chapman and goon with gun getting soaked with a hose and saying, the murder's off. Like, it's perfect. It's perfect.
No drive-by today.
Oh my God, it's all wet.
Looks like Tom's Yerk's just gonna have to starve.
Yep.
I guess. Sorry.
That's what.
That was our last
They
hope.
get together again, and Tobias is like, "Okay, Jake fucked us, y'all. He morphed in front of his brother. He didn't see it.
He's losing it."
That's when they hold their vote. This is the vote. We talked earlier about the vote. This is the vote. They vote to keep protecting Jake's dad. Stupid. And Jake's like, it's okay. I've got a plan. And their plan rules. Marco's like, well, we could just kill your dad. But Jake's like, no, I have a plan.
We only get to kill your mom.
It is a good plan, but it's like, why didn't you do this already?
It's a good plan for the wrong
reasons. Why didn't you do this sooner?
You've been doing this all over the place.
It's kind of a great plan.
So listeners, readers, or people who've never read the books, Jake's plan is they're going to kidnap the vice principal.
Vice Principal Chapman. Just grab him.
Just grab him. So they realize that Chapman is higher up on the Yerk ladder than Tom, so if they make the Yerks think Chapman is kidnapped, they won't be caring so much if Tom goes away and the Yerk dies of starvation in Tom's brain.
Yeah.
They have a higher priority.
For as much sense as this book makes, that tracks for this.
Totally.
Sure.
And do we get the best part?
Oh, man. So we need to really set up the scene here because So first off, in order to kind of put Chapman off guard, they need to have a friend come over from Melissa Chapman.
Yeah.
It can't be one of the Animorphs because they would be recognized by Chapman.
Oh, I forgot that they do this. This is Gambit.
Instead, well, let's get Axe to do it. He kind of, he has a blend of all of us, and Axe is like, well, I can do you one better. So he turns into his weird combination of all the Animorphs, right? His handsome boy.
Yep.
But
doesn't they describe him as an ethereal, beautiful boy
like elvish,
or something?
right? That's always pictured. He's like,
like the final angel in Evangelion, Kawaru.
I think Jake describes him in his internal monologue as strange and beautiful.
Yeah, he's that TikTok guy who says there's no the coincidence guy. He's that guy. He's like, oh, you seem strange and beautiful.
What guy is that guy?
There is no such thing as a coincidence. The fact that you're watching this video means you are energetically aligned with me and this message. Your thoughts create your reality. But you already knew that. Yet, you still live a life that you dread.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Axe is like, I got this. He morphs to that human and then starts to morph back.
Yeah, he does this half demorph, so he turns into this hideous goblin, right? Because they describe him as Quasimodo, but without the hump, right?
They call him Quasimodo without the hump.
Really, it's he's half Andalite too, so he's kind of weirdly lumpy and kind of his back has turned into a horse's back a little bit.
He's like, this will make it way less suspicious that I want to talk to this guy's daughter.
His eyes are super far apart.
Yeah, and
partially blue,
weird lumps all over. Just a nightmare person.
He goes to Chapman's door. He's like, "Hello, Chapman. I'm normal human."
Nope, we're reading it.
Okay, where are we at?
So it's around 17. I wish I had a.
In his standard human morph, Axe is a strange, beautiful kid. Now with his
beautiful.
Now with his eyes a little beadier, his nose stubby and squashed, and his hair darker and shaggier, he bore a startling resemblance to Quasimodo, minus the hump, of course. Chapman stood there, holding a newspaper and looking irritated, being interrupted.
Hello, is Melissa here? I am friend of Melissa. I have come here to speak to her regarding a class assignment. Axe
said brightly, more or less following the script we'd worked out. Chapman peered out at Axe and frowned, sighed.
Wait here. I'll get her.
Good.
Axe.
Did I?
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah.
Did I get it right? Okay, thanks.
Axe said.
She's my close friend and also classmate, and thus is a perfectly normal thing for me to do.
Chapman gave him another look and went to get her.
So and again, this is all coming out of a goblin.
Yeah. And Chapman, he just thinks nothing of it. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, he has the same annoyed expression that all fathers do when somebody comes over.
Yeah.
Melissa, there's a lumpy lad
here to help you with homework.
Your friend Lump is here. Oh, good. No, and Jake asks him what he sees, and Axe says, using thought speak, which I didn't know he could in Human Orc, but who cares? Whatever.
That's fine.
Yeah. This controller has added security devices since our last infiltration. There are motion sensors camouflaged as a mirror frame in the front window, and I suspect Dracon beams concealed in the eyes of a statuette facing the doorway.
Oh, man. This place is a fortress.
So
I love it.
Chapman's house is like John Wick's house.
Imagine Melissa Chapman walking through that house. Like she knows she can't walk in front of the statue because it'll kill her.
Dad just bought this this gargoyle one day, and like the eyes are kind of weird. He
shoots death beams out of its eyes.
It eviscerated like a crow the other day. I'm kind of afraid of it.
Melissa, stay away from Goliath.
Yeah. So this honestly,
is Melissa the one is in book 2? Rachel goes into her house because she's like distraught because her parents are acting weird because they're Yeerks and they don't love her
maybe that's
anymore.
the security features, right?
Awesome.
Because Rachel broke in and was kind of caught. So like maybe
I mean, that's exactly it.
That's why.
And so Jake's gone rhino, Rachel's gone bear, Marco's gone gorilla. They're going big mode in this house.
Yeah.
And Jake just goes charge.
Well. Melissa Chapman.
Yeah, Melissa Chapman does come up, and she's like, "Who are you?"
I didn't order a goblin.
Why even wait for Melissa? Why even wait for Melissa to come to the door?
They have to protect Melissa.
If you're just going to rush
They
in.
have to protect the innocent because they care about innocent lives for some reason.
Right.
Well,
situationally,
Rachel cares about Melissa. It's not mentioned all that often.
Marco uses his gorilla arms and like grabs her out of the way.
Lifts her up,
right? So
covers her mouth, and then ties her up and throws her in a bush.
He sets her down gently after tying her up. Ooh.
The battle that ensues is pretty horrifying and gave me some questions. Gave me some questions about the human soul. I mean, okay, they shoot Jake with guns and lasers and melt his brain
as a rhino.
The Dracon beam. Yes, he morphs to a rhino. They're grabbing Chapman. Chapman is like scrabbling around the ground. He's got a gun. He's just blasting. And the Dracon beam is shooting its lasers into Jake's skull and melting through his head into his skull. And Jake is just thinking like, "Ow, my skull! I'm being riddled with bullets." He's thinking about the fact that his brain is being destroyed, and I just like, how is he still
disassociated?
Thinking about it? Yeah. Doesn't he think? Doesn't he use the animal's brain to think? While he's morphed?
Normally, yeah, right? Like,
that's why they get animal instincts that take over. Then I thought, could it be that like the human brain? Is it spoiler to talk about Z-Space?
We know about Z-Space.
You know about Z-Space? Okay, maybe like because the mass is stored in Z-Space, maybe the human brain is still somewhere in Z-Space. Because he talks about he doesn't say like I'm being shot and my brain is being melted. He says the rhino is being like obliterated. Yeah. It's like he's thinking about another.
Yeah, you're
creature.
right. Like it's
almost
Jake's
like his brain
essence,
is thinking
right,
from Z-Space.
Is in the rhino.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Maybe
his soul has to be there because like if all of his mass is in Z-Space, so is his brain, right?
Yeah, I think so because he's very lucid for someone who has a laser beam fired into their open skull.
As we learned in Animorphs 3, Jake loves getting shot in the head. He's very good at it. He just loves getting domed, which happens 3 or 4 times in quick succession here.
Well, and also like I think it is just part of like where he is at mentally. Like he doesn't. He is like fully removed from his own body.
Yeah,
right. He's like, oh, this rhino's dying.
He's like, I have to kill Chapman. I know I'm supposed to capture him, but I'm going to kill him.
Yeah. So he leaned on the rhino a little bit earlier, but now he's just like he doesn't care about this poor rhino that was summoned into existence and now has a hole in its brain.
Right.
I mean, it seems like it's him. Like I don't know. It was weird to me how he talks about the rhino like it's a separate entity. It's the same thing that's weird to me when they talk about how like morphing a human would be like violate their autonomy. It's like, but you wouldn't. It's not them. You're not them if you were to become them. You're still you. You just look like them. They're not even involved. Like this rhino that you're morphed into, the rhino is not involved and like upset. You are the rhino. It's you. You're being shot.
Oh no! You figured out
weird.
Jake doesn't have object permanence.
Well, there's. See, I always pictured it more as like he has this meat robot now, right? Like he summons into this meat rhino, and now like, he's not necessarily a rhino, but he is present inside of a rhino and is controlling a rhino, much like a Yeerk, right? Like, is the way I always.
I mean, if it was entirely that, then he shouldn't retain any of his human memories when they morph because their brain transforms and they should just become a normal rhino, right? So there's something going on.
He has a soul memory. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, generational trauma, epigenetics. Got it. Okay, yeah, we're smart again.
No, I wasn't going to do that. Oh. I was just going to say souls are magic and there.
Oh,
and proven.
Absolutely.
No, and luckily Chapman turns into John Wick.
Yeah, no, Chapman, he's rolling around this house. He has guns hidden everywhere. He like blasts Marco in half with a gun. I don't know what Rachel is doing at this point. Is Rachel?
Doesn't his wife like comes running out with a Dracon beam, right, and just starts.
Yep, that's
blasting.
who domes Jake the first time, and then they knock her against a wall.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Melissa's just like, no, help.
But like Chapman
Whatever.
wrecks all of them, manages to escape,
Yeah.
and is running across a field.
And Jake's chasing him down. He's like, I'm finally going to do it. I'm just going to kill him. I'm imagining my horn going through his heart. I'm going to smash the yerk in his brain. I'm going to smash his brain. When Axe cuts off his legs and knocks out Chapman.
Oh, God, that's right.
Yep.
He does.
Axe realizes they need to capture Chapman, so he decapitates his prince, forcing Jake to pass out.
Not decapitate.
Well, he cuts the fucking leg off.
Is that a decapitation? I thought that was only head.
I don't know. You better shut up before I defenestrate you. I know what that means. Your ass out the window.
The soup has gone to your head. It's making you
I got the soup madness, man.
You got that soup brain.
It's all bad.
Okay, so then next scene, torture scene.
Yeah, they drag Chapman to an empty house in the same neighborhood because, it's such a genius plan to hide next door.
Man.
They'll never think to look near the scene of the crime.
You should just be lazy. Just say you're lazy.
It's like Clive Owen in Inside Man, where he dug a hole in the floor and shit in it for a month.
Inside Man spoilers.
Oh, sorry, I spoiled a movie from 2008. Let me tell you about Citizen Kane.
The Kane is really
No, you want me to spoil a recent movie? Lin-Manuel Miranda sucks, and so does In the Heights. I didn't watch it. I don't have to. I know that.
Yeah, we knew that already. So what is this hideous...
Bring up all my grievances with movies. Here we go.
What is this hideous torture that happens?
They tie him up, and they say, yerk.
I can't stomach this. I have to step outside.
Yeah.
I can't.
You better tell us what you're doing, yerks, or you're going to die.
They just are like, we're going to keep you here, and you're going to die of Kendrona starvation. That is what will happen.
And it traumatizes everybody. Jake is just racked with guilt. Axe is just like, I've betrayed my honor. This is not the thing a warrior does.
I will never do
I'll never do this again.
He does.
And like all they do is tie him up and then say, "Ha
I am not.
You're
I am
hungry,
not.
aren't you?"
Yeah.
I am not a torturer, Prince Jake. This is beneath Andalite honor.
It's fucking so out of character. So Jake said,
They've killed multiple people.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, whatever. I guess it's like during a battle, but they've also done other shady shit.
This is the preamble to right before the torture. Chapman started to tremble. He whimpered soft and low. I didn't look at Rachel. She didn't look at me. Neither of us was thrilled about this. We had to make Chapman think he was being interrogated by an Andalite warrior. We had to make him think he would be tortured. Moments earlier, I would have killed him. Even now, I felt no pity for him. But that didn't change the fact that we were trying to terrify another living sentient creature. If you're the kind of person who gets off on that, you need help. I was asking a lot of Axe. Too much. But he was determined to play the role. So they're pretending to torture him. You know, right out of the gate, it's fake.
Yeah.
And they're hand-wringing. And pretending to torture someone is torturing someone.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Like, I guess, like, you know, I was making fun of the way that they tortured him and the way they're racked with that guilt. But, like, yeah, it's you should not kidnap somebody and say you're going to die. I think that is technically torture, right? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, he's a yerk. He's a yerk who's enslaved a sentient creature. This is a human. They're like, if the yerk dies, isn't this what they want? They want to starve and kill all the yerks out of the skulls of their fellow human beings. I don't see why the mere threat of it is like, how could I have done such a thing?
They didn't even let him starve. They just let him starve. Let him starve.
Well, and here's it.
That's what. Yeah, I was losing my mind. Like, okay, yeah, they're pretending to torture him. They're playing the role, but then they let him go. Why do they let him go? I don't understand. Why was that part of the plan?
I have no idea.
What did that gain? Why was it better to let him go instead of just go through with it?
They were reading the script.
They had him
reading the script.
They were.
What? I don't understand. Their plan is distract the yerks with a higher priority target so they won't be focused on saving Tom. Okay, good. We got Chapman. Now we gotta let him go. We gotta send him back. Keep him! That was the plan!
It's because the writer wanted to make Jake feel guilty. That's all it is. Like that's all it is. And you know, like my thing is also just like, why even bother with the torture? Just leave.
Yeah,
you could.
Why even bother with the kid?
Leave.
Why even bother kidnapping at all?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, if you want to go that far back, yes. But, well, although no, we decided kidnapping was good. We can't go back on that.
Yeah, we did. Okay. We did say mere minutes ago that kidnapping rules.
Yeah, the kidnapping, good idea.
Yeah. If there's someone you don't like, throw them in your car.
Yeah,
don't please God.
Only if you think they have an alien in their brain. Let's make that clear.
Let me be clear.
I think this was where the book lost me, and I couldn't.
Yeah,
this couldn't take it seriously.
So yeah, Axe says, and he will return to his people, a hero. This will become an oft-repeated and much celebrated chapter in Yeerk history. My name will become legend, synonymous with ineptitude, a brutal fool of an Andalite.
Like, did he say his name?
No.
Then why does he care?
And then Jake's like, well, I shouldn't have actually...
Though his problem with God, the Yeerks will make fun of me. The Yeerks are going to make fun of me.
They're going to call me stupid.
You don't get it.
I kind of like that. I kind of get it, and I kind of like that. Like, the fact that the plan is so stupid kind of makes me empathize with Axe. Like, you made me act out the dumbest plan in the world, and they're going to make fun of me.
I'm going to be a legend of stupidity.
I get
that. He's going to be the Eve Fartlow for the Yeerks. And... they get nothing. They get no net gain. They let Chapman escape.
Well, their net gain is that guess who's going to the cabin?
Tom.
Oh, wait. I want to point out that, like, the way that they let him escape is they're like, haha, Yeerk, I will leave you here to starve and you will die. And he leaves. And then it's like, okay, there was broken glass on the floor. He'll be able to cut himself free using the broken glass. They must think. He'll think that Andalites just haven't been on Earth long enough to know that glass can
cut. Out of all the plot holes to fill in. The idea that Andalites wouldn't know to clean up glass after they broke
wouldn't know about glass. We've never seen glass.
What do they see out of their spaceships in? Who knows?
Well, it's like, you know, he got his notes back.
Wait,
like
they call them dome ships. What's the dome? Never mind. Andalites don't know what glass is.
Yeah, they don't know what that is.
Fuck.
Glass.
They use space glass. Space glass never breaks and it can't cut. Earth glass is a completely different
translucent thing. Aluminum.
Yeah, shut.
Star Trek
because that's how they get their window. Because they don't actually have a window.
Yeah. Glass would be under.
You know what? Laura Botyanyi Weiss, who ghost wrote this book, do better.
No, but now we know why they know about the glass. She did that part right. Fill it in.
She's like, oh, I can't believe they sent me this manuscript with this glaring hole. I'll fix this.
I got this. So on the road trip up to the cabin, the death cabin, Jake is just like thinking about how much he hates this Yeerk.
Yeah,
like the entire car ride is just him like, I hate that fucking Yeerk.
Yeah,
like see that bird in the sky? He eats prey. I eat prey.
We should also note that he left town without telling any of his friends.
Right.
He's like, I can't believe.
Yeah,
I can't believe I sullied myself and my friends by making them risk themselves for me. Oh well, I better do this alone.
They knew he was going to the cabin.
Yep.
He knows that they're not out of danger, but suddenly he's like, I've decided now I got to do this alone, and I don't want my friends to help anymore. I just got to do it alone. I just got to do it for me.
Jake's doing self-care by murdering his brother.
Or his dad, one or the other.
Yeah. But honestly, like, yeah, he wants to shoulder that responsibility. It's not that he has to. He likes it.
Well, he's incapable of it up to this point. All he's done so far is freeze and make bad decisions.
He likes to think he's the type of person.
He was so...
Yeah.
He was so distraught that his dad was going to get yeerked. And now he's like, I don't care. I don't care if it's a huge risk. I don't care if it would help so much if my friends kept it. I'll just do it myself because I want to.
No, I think he wants the responsibility at this point because he wants to think of himself as a person who takes on responsibility.
Right. He thinks
and does it well.
He's the guy who's like, oh yeah, I never enlisted, but I would have, like that guy.
Yeah, that guy. And it feeds into what happens later. So, because we'll get into what medals mean. So they get to the lake. Tom is just there sulking because he's about to die.
Yeah.
Jake.
If I were the Yeerks, if they know that Tom going on this trip means the Yeerk will starve, the Yeerk should kill Tom before the trip.
Car bomb.
They shouldn't let that happen.
Put a car bomb in that car. Godfather them.
Or casino them. We could do 90s references too.
Okay, casino. Yeah,
casino rules.
Yeah. Plot hole number 10. Or,
Do better, Laura Yanni Weiss.
Yeah. So they get to this dumb cabin in the dumb woods. Their dumb family's there.
And they're reminiscing about great grandpa G, and great grandma's like, yeah, he never talked about the war. And Tom's like, well, he's a pussy. He should be better at war.
Which I'm like, hell yeah, get his ass, Tom.
It's kind of funny because, you know, it's a Yeerk talking, and the Yeerk does understand war. Somewhat,
well, he's in a war,
right?
Yeah.
It is. He's in a war, yeah, and he's gonna die. So, I guess that's kind of a good bit of dramatic.
I loved it. He's like, yeah, Grandpa G was a pussy. If I were in war, I'd kill you all. And they're like, Tom, why are you being so mean? It's like, yeah,
wow,
I don't
Tom.
know.
Crazy shit.
Laugh off. Yeah, good point, Tom.
Yeah, you know how teens are.
Being 17 sucks, huh? Yeah, no good. Oh God,
Is he
somewhere
17?
in there. He's a high schooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, older teen. Tom's like, he went to the sharing to meet a girl, so you know Tom fucks. Probably not.
Yeah, he says
none of Jake's family fucks.
No, Tom does not, because he says weird shit like this. He's like, yeah, hey, he sucked at war. He should talk about it more.
Twist. The Yeerk wasn't even talking. He was just saying what Tom would have said. Tom was the edgy kid to be like, Grandpa's a pussy. I would have loved killing Nazis.
I wish the twist of this book had been that Grandpa G was a Nazi, and that's why he had the Nazi knife.
He has that Nazi dagger, you guys.
He defected.
No, they already said Jake's family's Jewish. It's fine.
We found this closet, you guys.
Wait,
I mentioned a few books back where it's like, oh yeah, Jake's grandpa or whatever was Jewish. It's super cool.
So yeah, they talk about it. You know, have a little like conversation about like the wake and the details of what a funeral is. And Tom's like, well, we should just do it sooner.
Yeah, come on, man, I gotta get back.
Come on, speed up.
Axe doesn't understand what it means to have like a father's side and a mother's side.
Because who knows?
You'd think Andalites would know.
I've come around to the idea of
I don't know.
They're polyamorous.
Female Andalites shooting their egg into a tree, and then the dad comes on the egg in the tree, and it grows in a tree
at high speed.
That's where I've landed on Andalite mating. That's how they do it. They both come into a tree, and a baby pops out.
Okay, like a pod.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It just sploops out, and they're like, oh, we'll call this one Axamilli.
Yeah, they do have dumb names.
But Jake and
they're all tuckered out from the trip up to the cabin. So
Jake and Tom share a heart-to-heart talking about war with Grandpa G's war footlocker.
They're going through his war chest, with all his medals and war stuff.
In your grandpa's locker box, there are two items: medals and a cool Nazi knife. You know, and you gotta pick which one's which. Which one do you relate to more, the cool medals or the cool Nazi knife?
Yeah, the two sides of war. Do you pick the medals or the Nazi knife?
It's the one you feed.
Yeah.
And so Tom immediately is just like, give me that knife.
Yeah. Jake's like, oh, these medals mean so much. They mean honor. It's like truly wonderful what our great grandpa did. And Tom's like, no, that's stupid.
They have war is about honor, and Tom's like, honor's fake. It's just about winning at any cost.
And you know what?
And so he takes the knife because this is how you win. Medals are for after.
And I agree with Tom. He says honor and courage aren't what matters. Not in the real world. What matters is whether you win. After you win, then you start talking about honor and courage. When you're in battle, you do whatever you have to do. Honor and courage and all that, those are words you say after you've destroyed all your enemies and anyone else who gets in the way.
I don't like the way he said it.
I don't like the way he said it either, but it's true.
He's right.
It sucks, but he's right.
He's right for the wrong reasons.
It sucks, but he's right.
I mean, like, hey, I'm not gonna say you should do war crimes to win. Like
no.
No, but like if you're in a war, you're there to survive, and get out alive. That's your winning condition. And who cares about honor
Grandpa,
at that point,
right? Grandpa G didn't talk about the war. He probably would have agreed. Like, yeah, these medals are just some shit they gave me after to make it sound
cool. I got them in the locker
cool.
because they weren't important.
But it was fucked up.
I lived. Right. Grandpa G, he didn't talk about the war. That's why he's a pussy. You should talk about that war.
Talk about that war, about all the fucking dudes he killed, all the bitches he got with.
Hell yeah.
Not got with. It was not. It was probably not. Probably bad.
No. We don't talk about Grandpa G.
Yeah.
all that often anymore.
No, he was a good one. He was a good one.
He asked all the villagers before.
But like, what this tells me about like Jake's character is that he's a dude who's really into honor.
Yeah.
Like he loves,
or at least he thinks he is.
Well, no, like he wants to have honor, but he doesn't want to brag about it.
Right.
He wants to be respected, but he doesn't want people to blatantly show the respect. He doesn't want to be sucked up to. He wants pure, honest admiration. And it's like
that never goes wrong.
No, and it's like so self-censored and centered and weird, right? Like he wants to be seen as a responsible leader, but he doesn't want people to. He never accepts that role because he doesn't want to come across as pretentious, which would remove that respect.
He wants to be the way he talks about the medals and what happens later. He wants to be the guy who does the right thing, even if it costs everything, even for others. Like he'll sacrifice. This is kind of what he's doing with his dad by not letting his friends come along. I think he thinks he's doing the right thing, but like it's his dad or Tom is going to pay the price for it. But he can tell himself, no, I did the honorable thing. I shouldered the burden.
Fucking bullshit.
Well, it's Marco, isn't it?
I mean, a little.
They're both more like than I think the books kind of admit. But like they're the same character at this point, right? They both see like he refers to Marco as having ruthless plans.
This book
right?
This book would claim that this book wants you to think that they're different.
Right. But Marco knows he's being a piece of shit. Jake doesn't know he's being a piece of shit.
He doesn't want to admit.
Instead, I don't think he knows. I honestly don't think Jake knows.
It could be both.
Because
Marco doesn't know. Marco thinks this is my note. I kind of don't want to mention it until we get to after
let's just get to it and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, there's not much left to this.
So Jake has a stupid World War II dream where he's the fucking leader of World War II and they sing fucking Silent Night because he's at the Battle of Bulge.
Like he just watched Band of Brothers and he's like, oh yeah, shit, that was cool seeing you guys, right? And then like, it doesn't need to be in this book. Why is it here?
Because Michael Grant just saw Saving Private Ryan.
Because war never changes.
Metal Gear Solid would disagree.
Fallout 3 would agree though.
That's true.
They're trying to do a thing where like, war is about every generation faces war. It's like a generation to generation thing. He's relating to his family and part of the human condition or something. I don't know, the struggle of all sentient life to survive in an uncaring universe. Am I reaching?
No, I think that's the intention.
That's what they're trying to do. Yes.
Does it?
I think that's what. Yeah.
It's not successful. It kind of like I get it as just like this is a weird dream. This is kind of stupid. I hate this actually.
Right.
Let's just get this book done because like.
No, that's what the author wanted you to
think. Well, it's also that, like, rugged honor. Like, it is war propaganda at this point.
Yes.
It's like, if I was a kid reading this, I'd be like, no, they made that strong sacrifice.
And he wakes up and the Nazi knife is gone.
Oh, shit. Nazi knife, it's gone. Tom likes that knife.
He just like when he left the house to leave Tom with his dad. And now, again, when he went to sleep, he just let Tom out of his sight. He took a nap.
Just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And he wanders outside the house and sitting there on the dock of the bay, watching the time float away, is Tom and Jake's dad having a heart-to-heart. He can't hear it, but he sees Jake's dad hug Tom, and he sees the Nazi knife just like
in like his back pocket, like he's reaching behind his back.
And Jake's like, I'm gonna kill him now. It's over.
Oh, what a subtle scene too. It's like he's really stabbing his father in the back.
and Jake quickly morphs to tiger. He's like, I have the strength of the tiger.
There's like a slow motion sequence. He's like running, and he's like, I gotta make it, and he's morphing in the middle of his
it would
run.
Be really cool looking, right? Like.
This would be
kinda
fun
cool.
to watch.
Might
This
be
book would be fun to watch, but
Yeah, I
it's
think so.
not.
Yeah.
It's adult literature, and we're analyzing it with our powerful brains.
But like he doesn't get there because the dock explodes.
The dock explodes.
And, you know, Daddy's like, whoa, and he falls back comically, I assume. Whoa. And then Jake.
Just like with the jelly, just like with the jelly. Oh, no.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Fucking, fuck.
And then, like, Tom gets dragged out by a lake monster.
Yeah, Jake's like, what the fuck? Jake's dad gets pulled away. Tom gets pulled under. He's like, what the fuck? And then he hears Tobias in his head say, Jake, morph back and save Tom. So he's like, okay, good. I'm glad I can take orders this time.
Yeah, he's a switch.
He pulls Tom out of the water, like hits him on the chest, does fake TV CPR, mouth to mouth.
Yeah. Live, damn it. And then water comes out.
Right.
And Tom's alive.
And everybody's alive. They send Tom away on a medevac helicopter.
Driven by the chi.
And that's when the Animorphs come out and are like, hey, we know you lied, but it's okay because you're our best friend.
Yeah, who developed this cool plan?
Marco was hiding behind a tree because he thought Jake might be mad at his super cool plan.
Sorry, I saved your brother, man,
so
bro.
They broke Tom's legs. They had him
as what? Like, explain the plan. What's
so
Marco's
Cassie
brilliant
turned
plan?
into a whale, destroyed the dock
in a lake.
In this
In a
like lake. In this little like pond.
whale.
Yeah.
Like you can't see under lake water, so you wouldn't see a fucking humpback whale.
You would see a fucking like humpback whale just like crash into a dock.
I think it says like she was really worried she might beat herself going for that dock, but she didn't. It was fine.
You'd be worried.
It worked out perfectly, actually.
Yeah. Tom
and the other ones turn into dolphins, right? To like catch
and
Tom
to
in
break
the dead.
Tom's leg, to pull the dad away,
separate him. Yeah,
everything's fine.
Yeah, they saved both Tom and Yerk.
Yep. Jake says that if there's ever medals given out for the Yerk War, he's gonna have to buy a Foot Locker
because
he's injured. Because he's injured, they Eric King, the chief, flies the helicopter right, to airlift Tom, or he sends the helicopter to airlift Tom to a hospital where, thank goodness, the Yerks run the hospital. They can get Tom's Yerks those Kandrona rays, where everything's fine. Tom's gonna stay Yerked, and it's not a problem anymore. This is the
it's
good
all
end,
okay.
I guess.
It's okay. Everything's back to normal. It's like this book could have never happened, and nobody would notice.
Yep.
But this is like when Marco comes out and he's like, "Hey, you're not mad about my plan, right?" The narration, I wrote it down. Jake thinks Marco's strength is seeing the path, even when it means disregarding basic right and wrong. Like, Jake, you're a psycho.
Yeah.
What did he do that was so ruthless? They followed you and turned into a whale and saved your dad from getting stabbed, and you're like, damn, my best friend. I love him, but he's a ruthless motherfucker. He'd kill anyone for a nickel.
It's like a neutral path.
What did he do wrong?
Nothing wrong. Like nobody's dead,
and
somebody should be dead. Tom's Yerk should be dead.
And Marco says like, if it means anything to you, Jake, I'd like myself a lot more if I was like you. Like what? Like an idiot who can't do anything?
Paralyzed by inaction.
Marco's
it's like this book was written by Jake. Yeah, it's like everyone likes Jake. Sorry, I wish I could be more like you, Jake.
Yeah.
I wish I could
tall.
be, such an idealist, and just like not solve any of the problems
Jake.
and just ignore them and put everyone in danger.
Lets Jake off the hook so bad in every single step. Jake in this book, you look at his actions. He either tries to fuck up and is actively stopped, or completely freezes in inaction. And that's what they want you to see the leader as?
Well, they want to show the struggle of leadership. It's like, oh, it's so hard.
Well, even leaders have to act, and Jake, his action is inaction, which, yes, inaction is a type of action, whatever.
Who's that guy that just said that?
Anybody that I've ever thought of that I hate.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
He's that voice in my head who's like, oh, you're overweight and you're never going to be loved again. Normal stuff. Like, oh, are you sure you need to drink shotgun of soup at the beginning of your podcast?
Listen, Tyler,
Yes, absolutely.
Joe Johnson.
Don't listen to the voice.
I feel like that's the voice of Joe Johnson.
That's Joe Johnson.
That might be Joe Johnson.
Can't believe you wrecked your fucking car again.
Joe Johnson.
No, like a lot of people defend Jake. It's like, oh, the trials and tribulations of a leader. But
making the hard choices.
All Jake does is sully the people he loves and do nothing.
Yeah, he
This book is meant to be like the time Jake fucked up. Like, this is the time that they pushed Jake beyond his limits and he couldn't handle the pressure because it was too much for him. But it's
we've seen that book, though.
Yeah, that was 26.
Like
when they killed the Howlers.
It's making it out like this was this is the time. Like this is the only time. It was bad.
like Tom is the time he's going to do something really nasty, I'm sure. But this should have been that book.
What do you think he's going to do to Tom? Let's get the prediction out there.
Tom's going to be freed, but Tom's going to make the ultimate sacrifice.
Okay. Mark it down.
Is my guess.
I don't know.
I do.
So.
Yeah. My guess is that there's a moment where like Tom's like, "Oh, Jake, I've seen you and I've seen what you've done and I really admire you, Jake. I love you, Jake." And then like jumps into lava and gives a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Jake, you were watching out for me this whole time.
Jake.
When there were only one set of footprints in the sand, it was then that you carried me, Jake.
I know now why you morph.
So we're gonna get that, I'm sure. But like, then why have this book, right? Like, here's the real thing for me is like, does this book need to exist?
Nope.
Should it be on like, if you're saying, hey, if you really want to get Animorphs, you should read these books. This book is definitely not on that list.
No, like it's the action is fun to read. Like it's not boring. It goes fast. Like as a kid, I love this book.
I was amazed how fast, because I hadn't read one of these books in so long. I thought it might take me. It took me like 2 hours.
Yeah,
this whole book. It was so. Yeah, the pace was good. It
like
kept going.
this is a fun book for a kid. But if you try to look at it with any critical eye, boy, you're in trouble.
Well, you make your own fun. I had some fun moments.
Yeah, Joe Johnson.
Oh man, we love Joe Johnson.
I have had a very fun moment at the very end because after it all happens, the dock explodes. Eric King airlifts Tom to the Yerk Hospital. They finally go to Grandpa G's funeral, and I just have one last note here at the end of my notes. I wrote, "Jake cried. Beta."
Yeah, see, Jake's more of a Zeta, right?
Tom was right. Tom's the Sigma male of that family.
Yeah.
I don't know what any of those terms mean, but I love throwing them out.
It's better if you don't.
Just it doesn't matter.
Kappa, Gamma, whatever.
Man, I can't wait to cuck another box of soup.
We all know that Rachel's a Delta.
Oh, okay.
Sure,
like the variant?
Why not?
Yeah, like
the COVID variant? Oh, God.
So,
where do we land on this one? Nate, are you going to remember this 2 years from now?
There was no. It was like the Sario Rip episode.
Honestly, I think I will.
Yeah.
Because I felt very strong emotions for the reasons that I wasn't supposed to. I felt rage when they let Chapman go. I felt exasperation that Tom goes back to Yerk Hospital.
Yep.
I felt, a lot of, it'll stick with me for sure.
Joe Johnson will stick, I'm sure. That's going to be a running bit from now on. And the ugly axe morph.
We know Joe. We know
Friends
Joe.
of Joe on this podcast.
Yeah, Joe. Go Joe.
Go Joe.
So, despite all the criticism, I guess this book did have a couple pretty memorable moments, which is
it's
better than it being boring.
Yeah, it's like fun. It's fun. It's like filler. It's filler.
Yeah. It's a fun episode of like a 90s show, It's not important. You probably shouldn't need to read it. I'm not going to recommend it. Yes, I can't say I hated it because it was so short.
So you could say that Tom and Jake are perfect strangers.
What?
90s TV show?
What?
That's 80s.
It's 90s, early 90s.
It's Balky?
Yeah.
Why are you talking about Balky right now?
I like Perfect. The theme song's really good.
I was going to say that this book went through me like a box of cold soup.
It's still in me, Nate. The soup is still there. I haven't moved.
Could have been better. Could have been better.
You want me to shit in your chair right now?
Ben, what do you have to plug? Yeah, what do you got going on in your life?
You can follow me on Twitter at It's Also Ugly. That's my handle. I'm making a video game. And I'm on a podcast called the Pro Crastinators Podcast. I do it every week with some of my friends and on YouTube. And we made some lectures, and one of them was about Animorphs. And those are kind of popular.
We should almost like put a link to those in our show notes.
Oh God, I'll try and remember.
Perhaps.
God.
Sure, if you'd like.
We will.
I guess that's it. That's all I got.
How do we end this one?
I want to say thanks for having me on. I had a really great time, and it's been an honor and a pleasure.
Nobody ever says
Nate and Tyler of Animorph
Nobody
Time.
ever says that to us. Why are our guests such assholes?
Well, I'm just surprised we're having like a normal exit, like just like a thank you and a good night.
Oh, that reminds me.
Sorry.
Thank you and good night.